Welcome, family. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. I get to the chat in a few. Again, welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Hit the bell when I come for a powerful live stream or video. My past live streams and videos. Let's get them likes and the views up of all of them. Check them out, family. That'd be very much appreciated. Share it. I want you to share the past live stream and videos. Very much appreciate. Even share this. Okay. If you want to know more about me, yours truly, Jerry Thomas. Facebook group. Facebook page, Facebook group, capitals, JT MVP Thinking for Ourselves, also in capitals. My Twitter account at JT Blackman44, lower caps, Instagram account, same thing. The Underrated Darkness, lower caps. I'll be doing every Monday. I'll be having an underrated sports show with my brother Sleeps. Sleep Stay Sleep TV. Sleep Stay Sleep TV. That's my co-host. That's every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Check us out. Also, I'll be doing my fellowship dinner live. I show what I cook. Also, we having great conversation. So watch out for that. God's willing, I'll be doing the midterm elections in November of our perspective. So watch out for that. That's gonna be special. And also, I'm gonna do man talk. Yes, man talk. It's gonna be only men gonna be talking. We gonna have fun. So watch out for that. Man talk. It's gonna be number man on the panel. So we gonna have fun. Brother. So get ready for that. We gonna have some fun on this. So yeah, so watch out for that. Also, I do music and boxing. I will be doing more than that. I'll be doing more. I'll be having some collabs be coming up soon, so watch out for that. So tonight, you see the panel. We're gonna live it up tonight. Hip 90s hip hop and R&B music. Let's have fun. So we're gonna wait for some more people to come in, and we're gonna get this thing going. My brother Jay Sean Randoms, thanks for coming. JMJ 2121 LDBC salute. Land Lace Profit, also LDBC, thanks for coming. My UK brother, Gab Talk Media, thanks for coming. Very much appreciated. The lovely poetic Kels, Queen, thanks for coming. Oh, Reliable, what's good? Thanks for coming. The Truth, thanks for coming. He did a powerful live streams. Check it out. All right, let's support each other in the peace. All right, we're gonna wait for some more people to get in. We're gonna wait some more people to get in. I'm gonna be sending out some get people get on the panel in a few minutes. Letha E, what's good? How you feel, sis? Glad you know me as Queen. How you doing? I'm glad you came. Kappa Kappa, what's good? Yeah, we're gonna wait for some more people to get in. We'll wait some more people to get in. Yeah. Wait some more people to get in. Now let me go back. Let me go back. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, get some more people to come in. That's right. Um, I'm glad everybody doing all right. How do you feel? Glad you're doing okay. Kiana Scott Bay, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Wait for some more people to get in. Get it in. Get it in. Get it in. Get it in. Oh, there it is. Do I know who this is? Let the people know who you are.
Hi.
Oh, Poetic Countdown. No, I ain't know that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hi, how you doing?
fine. How you doing?
I'm fine now. I'm
Yes,
doing.
hello to everybody in the chat.
Yeah, everybody to chat. Yeah. You
Miss
see,
Melissa.
I know that you see the topic tonight, right?
Yes, my favorite 90s hip hop and R&B music. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, 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 right. So we're gonna live it up tonight because you know the
Yes.
underrated one has been going in. Oh, I got a new name too, y'all. You want to hear it?
Well, can I say much love to King Loso.
Yeah.
Yes, much love, King Loso. God bless you.
Low so yeah, but somebody gave me a new name, y'all. You want to
What's
hear
the
it?
name?
My brother Mike Biggs Boxing, Mike Biggs Boxing gave me the name Uncle Underrated.
Uncle Underrated.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so cute.
yeah, yeah. Because you know we call each other. He said because ever since I named myself Uncle before as a few people, and he was one of them. Every time I said, "What up, nephew?" He said, "What up, Uncle?" So today I was on his panel. He named me Uncle Underrated. So I got another. I got a lot of names, y'all. Uncle Underrated. So sometime when I put Uncle Underrated, that's another name. So I got another name. Thanks for Mike Biggs Boxing. Now, people want to say what Mike is B-I Mike, and the last is Biggz boxing. So support the brother. He do boxing. He breaks it down and everything. Also part of LDBC. So that's my nephew. That's my nephew right there. Mike Biggs Boxing. Gave me the name Uncle Underrated.
That's so cute.
Yeah, yeah, yes, all right. Kenneth Nash, what's going on? The little Tio, we wait for some more people to come. Now, I want you to talk. What's your favorite song? Before we start, we want to get it up a little bit here. What is one of your favorite songs in the
Oh,
90s?
it's
Love
too
song.
many to have just one particular favorite song from the 90s because back in the 90s, I liked a lot of group.
Okay, okay, no problem. Group.
You know what I'm saying? But I would say that one of my favorite singers was always Mariah Carey.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But back in the days, I liked Silk, Shy, Jodeci. Oh my God, there's so many to name. My favorite rap groups was Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Uh-huh.
Back in the days, I wasn't really in. Back in the early '90s, I wasn't really into rap. It was more like R&B.
Uh-huh.
But when I did get into rap, Bone Thugs and Harmony was my favorite.
Yeah.
But yes, but I'd say as far as R&B, Silk, Shy, Jodeci, the
Okay.
main.
Okay. Now,
Oh, let me
I
not forget Boys to Men.
okay. Now I know your favorite rap group. I'm not gonna say it though. You gonna say. So who you tell the people with.
Well, and Mob Deep.
Aha.
Of
Aha.
course,
Yeah,
Mob Deep.
yeah, yeah. Mob Deep. I like Mob Deep too. I like
Yeah,
now
Mob. Real talk.
Mob Deep. We wait for some more people. Oh, damn, we got 22 people already. I'm waiting for some more. Yo, Uncle Suge, if you want to get on the panel, let a brother know. Cause I know you like that 90s stuff. Yeah, you like that 90s stuff, brother. I know there are some piece from Cleveland that made a mark in hip hop in the 90s, Uncle Suge. So let a brother know. Thank you, Tasha. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for showing up and stay right there. Yeah, we talking about 90s hip hop and R&B. Yeah, I was around back then. I was around. I wasn't old stinking either, but you know, but I was around. Okay, okay. Just let me know. Just let me know, fam. Yeah, yeah, uh-huh. Yes, Lord. Mm-hmm. Now you want to know what's one of my few my favorites?
I want to know. Yeah.
Dog, get away from that, dog. My one of my favorites. I start from RB. It's going to shock some people. They only came with 2 LPs. Joe Public. I know people don't know. Joe Public.
Joe Public.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
You mad you must learn. You mad, I must learn. It was 1 to 2, 3. When if I pull it up, I'm gonna let y'all hear it. But um Black Street,
Oh, yes, of course. Blackstreet.
Guy. Thank
Oh,
you,
yeah.
Tashi Lane. Thank you, Tashi Lane. She said she Joe Public. I knew it wasn't me. That's right. Yep. And the Blackstreet
Of course.
guy. And also, Guy did come out with a LP too back in '99 too. Just like they pull that out too. Um,
Mm,
Jodeci.
of course. Who didn't like Jodeci?
Yeah, Josie. Nah. I ain't gonna get into that. Josie looked out for me. I saw her. Josie looked out for me. Let me see. Main boxing. What's going on? Black GHC was. I had quite a few though. 702.
Oh, yes, of course. 702. And you know what? When you said their name, the first song that came to my head was "This Is a Game We Play."
Yeah. Yeah. 702. Blackstone. In Vogue.
Of course, In Vogue. Yes.
In Vogue, Blackstone. Um, Escape. Escape. You said Overlap. You said Public Enemy. They made one LP in the '90s. They don't really count. What they did. What they did. What's that mute? What's that picture with They did a soundtrack to this picture back in the '90s. But they like really in the '80s though. TLC, right? TLC. Okay, now we get off that because I can go on. On now. Um, Now hip hop. Hip hop. I said Tribe Called Quest. Main Source.
I like that. Like them too. Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah. Tribe Called Quest. Let's see who else. Brand Nubian. Oh, he got game. Thank you, Kappa Kappa. Right, Public Enemy did a soundtrack to that. So, oh, Labu, they could count, but they don't count. But you know, but it's all right. We let that slide. Gangstar, um, the Dog Pound. Now people say, why you said the Dog Pound? Dog Pound, they did a few LPs. They did a few LPs. Snoop Doggy Dogg, Warren G.
Oh yes.
Warren G.
UGK, of course.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Ghetto Boys.
Oh yes.
Ghetto Boys. Ghetto Boys.
Tricks on me. Dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun.
yeah, Montre Twix. Yeah, that time, man. I was. Let me tell you a little story about that song. Then that song first came out. It really came out in 1990, but they issued it in 1991. And that was the time that my father passed in '89. And that was like one of the times that I was down and everything. And then that song came up, was playing, it was crazy. And and I ain't gonna lie though, back in New York in certain spots, every time that song come up or you around, you get robbed. You get
So they
you get vicked. Yeah.
yes. My sis stepped in the building. Michelle. Hi, Michelle.
Yeah.
Hi. It's been such a minute. I'm so glad you showed up.
Oh, thank you, Miss Flynn. Miss Fleming in his house. Thanks for coming. Appreciate that. Well, Kelsey, your sister was looking for you. Thanks for coming. Hope you
Yes.
come back and everything. Just don't you dare mess up. Let me start just messing with y'all. Let's messing with you. I be playing, Miss Fleming. I be playing. That's a guy. You gotta get used to that now. You know what I'm saying? I get serious, but I like to play around. So, okay, the Wu-Tang. Oh, you know Wu-Tang Clan. They still got that delegation going on too. Wu-Tang, what? Wu-Tang, what? New York, what? Staten Island, what? Oh yeah, you think not? Oh my goodness, yeah, Wu-Tang Clan. Dang, what? It was another group. Oh, X Clan, X Clan. Um, M City, what's good? That was good. What's good? We're going to get some more people on the panel, and we're going to talk about some good music tonight. Low Soul, you still there? Yeah, we're going to talk some good music tonight. Oh yes. Uh, you can go ahead. You can name some. I got to do something. Name some, sis. Name some, queen.
Um, Kenneth was dropping some real good ones. He's 8
Huh?
I said Kenneth Nash was dropping some real good ones. He dropped UGK, he dropped 8 Ball and
Yeah,
MJ.
yeah.
Remember
Yeah,
MC?
yeah. Those are few brothers. Those are brothers that really start the South sound, the hip hop in the South. I'm talking about that part of the South back in the 90s. That a lot of people, they don't get the credit deserve. They don't get the credit deserve. But we gonna
Yeah.
pay homage to them. Oh man, yeah, I'm from New York, man, boxing biker, born and raised. And oh, one of my favorites, Pete Rock, CL Smooth.
Oh.
That's one of my favorite. I'm gonna tell you why, y'all. It's one of my favorite because the great Pete Rock. I'm gonna get the CL Smooth. They from Mount Vernon. They call that Uptown. That's above from the Bronx, like New York City. That's like beginning of Westchester County family. And what I like CL Smooth, he had the greater respect of jazz and mixed with West Indian music, but he loves jazz. You see, I'm gonna explain this to people. The people understand. You got DJ Premier, Pete Rock, big the Large Professor, and the RZA, all of them, and the rest of them, some of them too. They well equipped of old school music. They respect it. They listen to it. They pay homage to it. So when they did that, when they put this music together, that rapper, they made sure that rapper or that girl, woman, remember it's a man or woman, they make sure they respect it. And I had to put um he was not DJ, but um big P Diddy. They respect the music. So when they rap around it, it was crazy. When they drop them bars on it, it's crazy. And you could tell the love. That's why I love Pete Rock. Oh my God, Pete Rock is one of my favorites. You know what I'm saying? And then you know why I love them, sis, because they had that conscience. You know what I'm saying? And they talked to me. You know what I'm saying? And then they mixed the people mixed the drums and the bass and stuff like that. It was hard, and I mean, and I went to a few of their shows too. And as a brother was coming up in New York and everything, it was a lot of things was happening. And excuse me, family, I didn't mean to go to subject. That's what Mayor Giuliani was in the office, and he was locking up black men, and then that was during the time President Clinton became president back in '92, but he signed a patriotic act to lock more of us as a people up, and Republicans had the power and stuff. So a lot of that time it was hurting, and also it spread out throughout the country, and even Tupac, right? Tupac, no doubt, no question. And so get back to the story, and we need some conscience. We need that grit, and also and so Ice Cube and P Rock, CL Smooth, DJ Premier. I mean the Gang Starr. They talk to that voice. Also, we got to throw Common in too. Common came up in the '90s too. But that time was special for me because hello sis.
I'm
Yeah,
here.
yeah. I got married. I got married in '95. That ended like 9.5 years later. But it was a good time, but it was a bad time for black people because we was really fighting for economics. At that time, it was a lot was going on. One of the two best of. Also, we suffer losses of good rappers, and the best rappers are Tupac Shakur, the late great Tupac Shakur, and the late great Biggie Smalls. And Tupac hurt because again he talked about the movement for us as black people that was fighting with ever since when I was a little boy. That hurt. You know what I'm saying? But when Biggie got killed, got killed, that hurt. And she stay asleep. Watch out for your link and everything. I'm gonna send you a link right now, brother, and a few and others. And so for me, that hurt it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was really like 8 months apart. You know, and so to Tupac God, I was like hurt. Because it was like some part of me it was some part of me that ripped. Cap Levi, 6KD, what's good? LDBC. And but like I said, family, it ripped me apart. And hip hop took a big loss. And then 8 months later, you got Biggie, and that's another one we had to deal with. And it was like, it hurt. It really hurt. So I just want to, drop, let the family know that at that time, you know, it hurt, you know. Mm. And it does, and it affects right now, even to this day, you know. Wow, it's like, and also you got Bone Thugs and Harmony, got them. They made an impact. Oh, She Stay Sleep. I send you the link. Let me know you get it or not.
He can't. He said he can't come up right now. He's just listening.
Okay. Just let me know. And so,
And another Crisscross.
yeah. I forgot Chris Paul.
Okay. Before we
Chris
forget
Paul.
Chris.
Yeah,
Jump.
Chris. Yeah. Chris Paul. Yeah. They made. Yeah. They made do it. And the Brat.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Brat. Anybody else want to come on the panel? Just drop your email in the chat, and I try my best to get you on. Get you on now. Come on. I know you know something. I know you know something, and also let me see what else. Naughty by Nature. I was giving Naughty by Nature. Yes. Uptown Anthem. What? BBD. What? Yeah. And oh yeah, I gotta drop this on y'all too. Wu-Tang Clan back in the 90s. They always come up with a lot of mixtapes. There's a mixtape that they brought out with the Beatles. It's hot. Look for it. It's hot. It is hot. Wu-Tang Clan meet the Beatles. That back in Strawberry of LP of the Beatles. Back in they did it in the 90s, but they mixed that strawberry yeah. So check that out, family. It's in YouTube. You know, it's on the I say yeah, Wu-Tang did a lot of mixtapes and stuff. So watch out for them. Yo, that's hot though. If y'all like old school mixed with new school, I mean they call it new school back then. It's hot. RZA did his thing on there. Oh my God, it's crazy. Um, Damn, there's another group. Oh my God, what's the name of that group came out in the 90s? Yeah, Kurt, yeah, I was looking for you, brother. I'm coming. I'm going to get you right now. Oops, sorry. All right, I'm seeing the link right now, Kurt. Look out for it. Yeah, so um and it was a lot. It was oh man, what's the name of that group? That was my favorite group too. They made Forever in Your Eyes back in the 90s. Oh my God, I gotta pull this up. I gotta put it Forever in Your Eyes. Oh, what's the name of that group? They from Minneapolis too, Indiana. Oh my God. There you go, Sugar. What's up, Sugar?
Hey, what's good, Underrated Darkness, man? What's going on with you?
I'm good. I got you. You see the title. 90s hip hop and R&B. We was around those times, brother. We was around those times.
Hey, man, I know music like boxing, man. I love music. I don't know which one I love more, boxing or music, man. You know, I'm a 70s, 80s, but also 90s as well. You know, hip hop and R&B, but 90s hip hop was a golden age. After 88, you had mid 90s, you had Wu-Tang Clan, you had Biggie, you had a Jay-Z Reasonable Doubt, you had Nas come out with Illmatic in 94. Only Built for Cuban Links, Raekwon, that's my favorite hip hop album of all time,
yeah.
The Purple Tape.
But
Oh, that was an incredible album.
but I'm gonna tell you one of the underrated Wu-Tang um Wu-Tang LPs to me is the GZA Liquid Swords.
You know what? I was just listening to that album. I was going to tell you that that album right there, Wu-Tang had it on lock in the mid-90s, man. You know, because Ghostface came out, Supreme Clientele, and Iron Man. But Liquid Swords, that was an incredible album by the GZA, man. And a lot of people don't know that GZA taught Method Man how to rhyme. You know, he orchestrated his rhymes, how to do hooks and everything, you know. And you know, Wu-Tang was a super group, man. I was just watching Method Man. He was on Undisputed this morning, you know, a sports show. And plus, he's an incredible actor. He's in The Deuce on HBO. But I also was a big fan of the Boot Camp Clique out of Brooklyn. You know, Smith and Wesson, The Shining. That's a hot album, man. You know, I mean, I can go on and on about hip hop in the '90s, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't speak, Poetic. How you doing?
Poetic.
No. I was saying salute to Curtis. It's good that you're up here.
Good to see you. You're a very smart sister. I like building with you. And what's up, chat? But when I saw the title, because I was you know, clothes shopping. I'm a shopaholic, man, with this internet thing. But I saw the title. I was like, whoa, I got to get on. You know, the '90s group. You know, you had Jodeci. You know, you had Troop. What's that other group? You got me hypnotized, mesmerized. What's the name of that group, man? I can't think of it. It was three brothers, but you know, I mean, I like R&B. It had that gritty sound. You know, you had the New Jack Swing. You know, so the '90s music, man, was awesome compared to now, man.
Yeah. Anybody want to get on the chat? Let me know. Let me know now. I want to see some sisters in the chat too. But in Brooklyn with Smith and Wesson and the Black Day came out. Oh my God! Now I'm gonna tell you, Brooklyn was crazy. You what? Brooklyn is crazy. If you, I'm talking about now. I'm talking about the tri-state area, Kurt. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the whole tri-state area. You better know somebody. If you don't know somebody, you would get Vicked.
Oh, that's an old school term. Remember that, Vic? Yeah, man. I used to hang out on Nostrand Avenue.
Yeah.
I used to hang out on Nostrand Avenue, man, and back further than that, I used to be at Albee Square Mall. You know, Brooklyn was the place. You know, it's gentrified right now, but it was a very, very different place. If you ain't know somebody, man, and you know, I mean, that was it, man. See, I used to be with them shower posse dudes, man. You know, but that's going back. You know, them was some crazy dudes. You know, but we had fun. You know, I used to see Zab Judah up in the lab with Little Kim, and I used to be at Sugar Hills. It was a very popular club in Brooklyn. You know, I used to be up in there. You know,
which Sugar Hill you talking about? Because there's two Sugar Hills.
The one that's by the Chinese restaurant, the old one, the one that we had the dead spots in the floor.
Right, that's exactly talking about. Right.
But in the 80s and 90s, let's concentrate on the 90s. You know, New York and Jersey was popping because in Jersey, you know, we had clubs like Peppermint Lounge. John Amos from Good Times used to own it. And down the street, we had Club 88, was turned into Brokers. You know, we had Bogies. We had a lot of clubs. So it was a lane for older people like in their 30s. You know, they had clubs and, you know, plus Newark, we big on house music, you know, but you know, it was a very different place back then, but now it's nothing like how it was before. You know, when you know Jodeci was big in the '90s when they came out with their albums. You know, and you know you had SWV. You know, and you know, I mean, black music always permeated the world, but at that time it was like a golden era, man. Every group was popping. Brownstone. You know, it was an awesome time for music.
Yeah, it was a good time, man. It was. I think that was the golden age and stuff. Oh man, P Diddy and the Family, the Locks, um, the Outlaws, very underrated. 8 Ball, UGZ, yep, exactly. Yeah, Oded. I think it was. I never forget. It was this song by I forgot. It was from Memphis back in the 90s. It was Space Pimpin'.
I
Oh,
remember that.
that's one of
I
my
remember that.
favorites. What?
MJG and 8 Ball. I remember
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Oh my God. She said,
Yup.
"Ride for me, steal for me." Oh, that used to get me going. I said, "Yo, you boys, I was married. You gonna steal for me, right?" On the real, I still. Oh my God, me go. I get every time I think about it, I get hyped. I like, yo, will you laugh for me? Oh my God.
Well, just put it like this: 94, Illmatic came out. You know,
Yeah.
95, Raekwon only built for Cuban Links came out. You know, and then you know you had Big, and then you had Reasonable Doubt by Jay-Z. You know, I was pumping his album by Jewels. He was an MC from Brooklyn. He had an album called OC Jewels. That was the name of the album. It was a masterpiece, man. You know, very underrated. You had Organized Confusion, you know, with Pharoah Monch. These is all in the 90s. And, you know, of course, you had Wu-Tang, like I just said before. You had Gangstar. You had everybody.
And then also, yes, because let me cut you off. Don't forget about that Gangstar that came out with Jazz Masters.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah. Yeah, Guru. Yeah, you're right.
Yep, Guru. Yep. They came with Jazz Masters, and then DJ Premier produced the group Home. The album.
Man, that album, man, Living Proof. Oh my gosh, man.
Stupid. Very underrated too. What? One of the best grand premiere, hands down.
Absolutely. And don't forget Dr. Dre's The Chronic.
The Chronic.
That was in the 90s too.
That's right. Yeah. But also I like when he come up with the Snoop Dogg shit. That was I like that. But it was not the Chronic though.
Right. Yep. And you don't forget Big's first album was So Raw, man. Oh my God, you know. That his first album was fire, man. You know, because he brought the East Coast back.
I agree.
Yeah. So
go ahead,
man. No, I wasn't gonna say nothing. I'm past the mic. I don't want to talk too much.
Go ahead, Porter.
No, they dropping it. Someone said "Do or Die." Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
You know, they're dropping names in there, and I'm remembering particular songs that I like. So, you know, I'm kind of grinning from ear to ear, and it's bringing back memory.
Hey, Poetic, was that the song? Do you want to ride on my backseat, caddy? Chop it up and do or die. Yeah. Yeah, that was the ish right there. I was big on them.
Yes.
That nigga was kicking science. He was it was like a pimp spelling bee.
It was Pimpology, post-pimpology. I love that song.
I'm gonna read some comments here. The Boogie Monsters, the Mark of the Beast, Natasha Moore, and also I got them to drop this on y'all too. Inspector Deck on the low have produced some of Wu-Tang's music classics that is not being talked about. The Inspector Deck did a whole lot for Wu-Tang Clan. It's not being talked about.
Well, I just downloaded his album called Uncontrollable Substances, which was a very underrated album.
Very underrated.
You know, Inspector Deck. That was a hot album. You know, I mean, Inspector Deck. You notice he always went first when they was on a record. He always went first most of the time.
Yeah, so that's the thing about that. You know, I was thinking about doing one day. Go back to music. I want to talk about Inspector Deck. I want to do a live about Inspector Deck because he don't get the credit he deserves, man. You know,
no, he don't.
He don't. It's like they put him in the bottom and stuff like that. and you know, he don't get the credit deserved, you know. And I'm definitely gonna talk about respect the deck. I gotta put some respect on it and everything else. Anybody that wanna come on the panel, especially ladies, drop your email. The Fugees. I forgot that the Fugees.
Oh yeah, they hit big, man. Whew.
The Fugees was no joke, and you know, update for, and then also come from them, John Forte. John Forte came with some LP too. John
Yeah,
Forte from Brooklyn, yeah.
he was locked up for a while, right?
Yeah, for a while, yeah. John
I
Forte,
remember that.
yeah, John Forte he dropped some bars. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, and let's see what I said the Locks.
Yeah. Don't forget J. Rue the Damager.
J. Rue the Damager. Oh yeah, the Stars of the East. What?
The
Another
sun rises in the east,
yeah,
y'all.
right. Another LP. DJ Premier produced hot.
Yeah, that was fire, man. That was fire. I mean, DJ Premier, everything he touched, man, he gives it instant credibility, man. That's my favorite hip hop producer.
I can't leave him out. MOP, Brooklyn.
Yeah, MOP, absolutely, yeah.
ODB
Yeah.
in the house.
Yeah, and don't forget Naughty by Nature, and don't forget Redman. Redman came out with some hot albums.
Yeah.
Yes, I like Redman and Naughty by Nature. Yes, yes, yes.
It's very underrated. Let me explain to people what's going on, Kirk, and I want you to back me on it. Every LP that Redman came out, it went gold plus, platinum, or triple platinum. Hands down.
Yep. Rated R was his first album. He came out with Muddy Waters, and then he came out with Tales from the Dark Side, all three classics. And don't forget Trial Called Quest, too.
Trial Called Quest 2. And
Oh, yeah. I like Trial Called Quest and Goody Mob.
Redman 2, I didn't mean to go to subject. And Redman 2, even when he went to the 2000s, it was still the same thing. Very underrated. Now, people want to put him like in the top 30, no. Redman right now got to be in the top 20 or top 10. Hands down. Hands down.
And Poetic said something too. Goody Mob. They had this song called, what's that song? Who Looking Out My Window? That was hot. That was hot.
Yes.
That was hot. That was hot.
That's the first one that came to my head.
That was hot.
Oh, yeah.
That was hot.
Yeah. And so all that, so people, I'm letting you know right now, if you want to get on the panel, drop your email in the chat. Outkast, yeah. You right, the truth. Outkast too. Very underrated.
Outkast came out with some fire, but it was an R&B. She had one hit. She was one hit wonder. And you can back me up on this, underrated. She from Brooklyn. Her name is Lachey. She had this song called Fulton Street.
Oh, yeah, that was hot.
Oh, man, that was my song.
Yeah, that was one of the anthems in Brooklyn, especially New York back in the 90s.
Yeah, that was my song. You know she's married to Master Ace.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and then we cannot forget about the soundtracks, too. Let's name the soundtrack.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Crooklyn one. I like the first one. I like Crooklyn.
Boomerang soundtrack was hot. Menace to Society soundtrack was hot.
Yeah.
Who else? Somebody else I'm missing. I can't think of it. But yeah, music was popping, man. It's this song by this female singer in the 90s. She's from Chicago. Her name was Shantae Savage. She did a remake of I Will Survive. I love the way she did that song, man.
Shantae was nasty too. I like the nasty one. Oh, man, I used to like Shantae. You just do not know a country car, you will get it. I ain't lying. Sir Hib. Sir Hib. What's good? Welcome, brother. I'm gonna do something for you. And cause they did. Like that, yeah. West Side Connection, facts, facts, facts. Matt 10, right? You right, true. True. True, Y'all go ahead, people. Y'all go ahead.
He said West Side Connection and
Yeah.
Mac 10, but
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Loso, of course.
Yeah. And also, they wasn't out all that long, but Nas came out with a group. What's the name of that group?
Oh, you talk about Uchi Wally Wally, Uchi Bang Bang.
No, it was a group. It was a group.
Yeah. But when that group
Bringing back memories.
on the song what's the name of Nas group, man?
Bravehearts. Yep. Brave.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Braveheart. Oh my God. Let me tell you a story about them. I remember I see them in Queens. I went to Queens with some shopping. And I remember I said, yo, Nas, I see when Queens boss said, yo, Nas, what up? Yo, what up, baby? What's good? He said, wait, I know you from Brooklyn. You got that sweat. Yo, come up there. I was signing everything. Yo, I'm gonna bring them boys of Bravehearts now. A lot of people at the time, I'm talking about the mid-90s now. Braveheart, I ain't gonna say they was all that young. And that's when that's when oh man, what's that group? I just said the group. Oh my God. What's the other group? My God. We just talk about the Poetic Cows. Your favorite group?
Are you talking about Mobb Deep?
Mobb Deep. Now at that time, thank you. Mobb Deep was doing promotion tour. They didn't come out yet. I'm talking about 93. Right? So when I seen him, I said, yo, Nas, you come out. That's what Nas was know. Because a lot of people don't understand. Nas was underground and he was doing his thing back then. And so I said, yeah, what's up? And we gonna come with Bravehearts, but at the time they was locked up and everything. So when I seen them, again like a few years later, now I'm talking about right after Queens Boulevard. I forgot, I got the years mixed up. Now I'm talking about like 97. And I said, yo, Nas, what's up? Yo, what up, baby? What's good? We go finally get them Bravehearts and everything. And I was chilling with them. It was cool though and everything. That's when Mobb Deep and all of them. And I'm gonna tell you one thing about them. Them brothers was very intelligent. They know about history. They know about the movement. But you gotta understand how the paradigm of politics, how they play against us. And there was a lot of people did not want to talk about that. You got a lot of old school like Dionne Warwick and other people. They did not understand our culture at the time because they refused not close in. And you hear like they were talking about bitches and stuff like that, stuff like that and other derogatory things. But you got to understand one thing. What happened was soul music and R&B even back then, like the 20s and 30s, and Sugar, I want you to jump into this. Jump in with this, please. At the time, I think the only thing that I was sad about it, those two cultures could not see eye to eye, and that was the mess up there about it. And then all it was all about the same thing as a movement. It just was a different time and it was a different language, and then the old ones did not want to realize. And so what happened was I don't want you to go more on that, Sugar. And Poetic Cows, I want your take on it too.
You want my take on what was that?
What I just said.
Oh,
you want to fall back? You can fall back.
Oh no, because I know I'm multitasking. I'm in the chat and then I got a little sidetrack. I apologize. What did you say?
Now I was talking about that the old school music back in the 70s did not respect hip hop back in the 90s. And there was a lot of them was talking about it was derogatory language was saying when they especially Dionne would not like say bitches and niggers and all that. And
okay, because I know a lot of music from the 90s. Mm-hmm. So you said the music from the 70s said that a lot of music from the 90s was derogatory. No, it wasn't. It was a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't think that none of the music from the '90s was derogatory. I felt like it was clearly understood, and they were telling a story.
Mhm.
So no, I think today's music is derogatory. But music from the '90s and like the '80s, that's as far because I'm an '80s baby. I was born in '81.
Mhm.
I don't think that the music back then was derogatory. They were speaking real truth. Like for example, Tupac was saying, keep your head up, dear mama. It was a lot of storytelling out of this music from the
Right.
'80s and the '90s.
Right.
So
Exactly.
no, they may have cursed, but derogatory, no, I don't think so.
Yeah. Right. At the same time, yo, Kirk, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you heard what I was talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me say something about that.
Right.
Yeah.
They try to mask it as derogatory, but it was because the older R&B artists was getting phased out, and
Mm-hmm.
they was mad because hip hop, New Jack Swing, the new age of new wave, I should say, R&B was dominating the charts, especially hip hop. Remember something? Don Cornelius of Soul Train, he hated hip hop so much. He told
Right.
Curtis Blow, he said, if it was up to me, y'all wouldn't be on the show, but I'm forced to play hip hop acts because it was the most popular and dominant music, that was out. Still today, hip hop has had a 30-year reign, and see, disco, and I'm in this relating to hip hop. Disco, when disco was hot, it was a race thing because all the disco records was sung by black artists. So this DJ from Chicago, after a baseball game, he told all the fans, bring a disco album. And
Mhm.
we're gonna, burn the album out in center field. And that's what happened. After the game, they had this big old fire and they were throwing albums into the fire. All the album covers was black.
Right.
And, so the security guard says Marvin Gaye ain't disco, but somebody had a Marvin Gaye album cover. And the reason I brought that up, and disco was over. The day after, it was over because it became a parody of itself. Hip hop was so strong and raw and from the streets. Remember, they tried everything to get rid of hip hop,
Yeah, they
and it
did.
just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It just blew up. It got so big, it became a global iconic type of music,
Mhm.
and you weren't gonna stop hip hop because it's from the street. The power of hip hop hip hop would take his hand and force you to listen.
Right.
So it was like news that's coming out of every urban neighborhood, and that's the power of hip hop. It's powerful. You can never get rid of it. And they tried to censor it. They tried everything, and see, you didn't have to have a hit radio, a song on the radio for your album to go platinum. NWA went platinum with no radio play when they came out for Niggas for Life. That
Right.
went double platinum, and so the corporations like, damn, what is this music? They selling all these albums and they not getting played on the radio
Right.
because it was word of mouth. It wasn't no internet, it was just in its infant stage. But it was good old fashioned word of mouth, and that's the power of hip hop.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm gonna read some good thing. Sir Hibbert said, did anybody mention digital planets? Yeah, that's you right. Right, exactly, Sir Hibb. Thank you. Also, P Money, another rapper name they got so soon from New York was Big L. If Big L would not been killed in '99, woo, he would have been one of the greatest, hands down. All right, Big L, yeah. But I do want to go more on your point, and then I'm gonna keep it going. What Kirk was talking about, Kirk, and I want you to follow. Matter of fact, part of Kelly, I want you both of you want to follow this up too, and but go more on Kirk thing. My brother Sugar point was, you have to understand at that time too, the civil rights movement was passing back in the '60s. You have to understand it was it was revolutionary. Our people coming to effect, right? And so the civil rights movement at that time, back in the '70s, it was dying down. So it was still was a void in our community of music, of rising, of us as oppressed as a people. So what happened was when hip hop was born, really back in 74, 75 in the Bronx, they was picture a story about how the blacks of I'm talking about the civil rights movement has let them down. They was not talking about the radical blacks like the Black Panthers and RCL. No, they was not talking about that. They were talking about the ones that they had their nose up in the air and had their nose up in the air. They talking about that movement. But what happened was the soul music, R&B at the time. So there's two types of music back in the 70s. It was soul music and it was classic R&B. Why Billboard had those two separated is because they're trying to have gauge, they're trying to have power within it. But it was a lot of great music come from soul and R&B. Instead of keep it R&B, they separated of soul. I just want to give you a little history on that. Now to get into the 80s and stuff, like Kirk was saying, it was getting global now. Because now you got Grandmaster Flash, you got all these groups is really coming out, and then you start really talking about the Midwest now. You start talking about the down south now. But at that time, they was underground. But at that time, it was a fight. It was a fight for power. And what happened was hip hop was getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger because they talk to the people of the streets. And then soul music was dying down. The only one was in there was like the late great what's the name? I forgot. Give me a second. James Brown. Living in like that. He made that. That's part of the Rocky soundtrack. So this was the time that R&B started being alternative. That's when the sounds of Philadelphia start being alternative. They call it alternative, and that's when pop rock comes into the picture. That's when pop rock stop fitting right in, and they start gaining their prominence and stuff like that. And that's when the classic rock start dying down instead of well, I'm going back and forth. I'm sorry, y'all. Just work with me here. So the evolution of hip hop really start to form like in the 80s. So in the 90s, when it hit the 90s, it was like a capsule of everything else. And so politically, they was fighting for a long time instead of like soul music and hip hop and soul music and all classic R&B. You know, they became pastime instead of they just. I wish that they could have meet with hip hop. It could have been more. It could have been better music and stuff. But I'm just giving you more little history on that. You know.
JT.
Yes.
Did you get the email? Loso want to get on the panel.
He needs his I need the email.
He got his email in the chat.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay. Tom, I got him.
Okay. He got you, Loso. He about to add you to the panel.
So when we talk about hip hop and we talking about stuff that we gotta understand the politics, and we gotta understand the nature of it too. It's very important, family. It's very important. You can go ahead Poetic Chaos or Kurt.
Oh, okay. You want to go first, Poetic?
Oh no. Yeah, you could go.
Oh, okay.
Right behind you.
Okay. Well, you know, the importance of black music in general, you know, always been dominant you know, since you know, Little Richard and Ray Charles, and then you had the jazz with John Coltrane, my favorite jazz artist of all time, and Charlie Bird Parker and Miles Davis, and then you know you had the Motown era, and you know then you had the '70s souls, which is my favorite decade for R&B music, and then in the '80s, you know, hip hop was born August 11, 1973, with Kool Herc, you know, 1520 Sedgwick Avenue. You
Uh-huh.
know, they had the house parties. I remember when I was like 11, 12 years old, you know, I used to go, you know, you would take your equipment and plug it up into the playground lamp, and you know, you just start a house party. The DJ was the most important figure, wasn't the MC. But later on, the DJ and breakdancing no longer became viable in hip hop. It was the MC, you know, stands for Master of Ceremony, you know, and they became the stars. And then '88 was a really a golden age. Public Enemy, Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, you know, Rakim, they're my favorite hip hop artist of all time, you know, and then KRS One. And then in the '90s, you had another golden period. That's when Nas and Biggie and Jay was calling themselves, you know, kings of New York.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, then you had the emergence of the West Coast with the Chronic, and before that, Straight Outta Compton came out '88, then '91. You know, they came out with Niggas for Life, and Snoop hit real hard, and then you know, very slowly you could see it going towards Atlanta. You know, Outkast, Goody Mob, you know, the Dungeon Family, you know, that scene. You know,
Right.
and plus you had, you know, Ghetto Boys been out for a while. You know, the Texas scene, Houston. You know, I was a big fan of MJG and 8 Ball. I used to like them. I thought they were different. You know, and it became like wildfire. It just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You start seeing it. It went commercial, you know, and unfortunately, when something goes commercial and the corporations know they can, you know, make a lot of money off it, it started to become a parody of itself. You start seeing cartoons, and you know, you start seeing people like Vanilla Ice come out, you know,
Right.
you know, and you know, I knew it was going to happen because it was making buku's amount of money, billions, multi-billion-dollar industry. But you know, hip hop was just a phenomenon, and I was playing everything. I was more of an East Coast, you know. I like that boom bap sound that the
Yeah.
East Coast, like Smith and Wesson, you know, the whole boot camp clique, Helter Skelter. You know, Black Moon came out '94 with Enter the Stage. That was a hot album.
Oh yeah,
And
very underrated.
very underrated. '93, Wu Tang came out, you know, with their first album. You know, it was this group underrated from Brooklyn that year, '93, called Trends of Culture. They was from Brooklyn.
Yes, I
They
remember
know
that.
I walked through the Valley of the Skins. They know I walked. That was a hot album. And my second favorite group came out that year, Ultramagnetic MCs. You
Yeah.
know, I was, you know, from the Bronx. I was in love with them. You know, it's just that I respect the hip hop everywhere, but you know, I grew up on. I'm from Newark, New Jersey, so I was getting everything from New York. You know, so that's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Porter Cows.
Yes, absolutely. Some of that music, you know what? I started writing, in the early 90s when I turned about 8 or 9. That's when I started writing poetry by listening to some of the music that was going on in some of the early 90s. Like my main, the main source of where I started writing poetry from was Mariah Carey. You know what I'm saying? She used to come out with those nice high pitch. So I started writing poetry off of her song. And then after time was going on, I got more into hip hop like Criss Cross and the Brat and Jermaine Dupri. And then I got into Escape and SWV. I started writing like stuff like short stories. Short stories. I used to write short stories at 30 pages front and back. And I used to perform them in middle school. So I would say that the music from, let's say, kind of like the late 80s, early 90s, pretty much inspired me to be the poet that I am today. Today's music, no. '90s music. You can understand. Like I said, they told stories. Each artist that they was mentioning in the chat, and each song that I was talking about meant something. It was like a story behind each song that I mentioned. You know what I'm saying? At the time, it took me back to when I heard that song of how I felt at that time and what I was thinking of and what I wrote about. So, yes, I would say that 90s music has made a major impact on my life today. And that's what I wanted to say about that.
Okay. All right. I got you. I got you the truth. Hold on. Watch out for it. But
Actually, do you got also check your Google Hangouts.
oh, the Hop. What's up, Hop? I ain't seen you in a while. He said no offense, but I don't find much of the poetry found in hip hop is very good. I love poetry, language arts teacher.
Okay, but I was saying that majority of my poetry came from me listening to Mariah Carey. You know what I'm saying? When I started getting into hip hop, I started writing little short stories. I think he probably missed that. You get what I'm saying? But majority of my poetry came from me listening to.
I think he probably talked about hip hop in general. I think that's what you talking about, Hop.
Okay, but I'm talking about hip hop from the '90s. It's different from hip hop of today. Back in the '90s, I feel like they was telling a story. It meant something. Today, I don't know what they're talking about. I think today's hip hop is trying to get us under mind control. It's like they're casting a spell on us or something.
All right, the truth. Watch out. Watch out for your link. Watch out for your link. I sent it. Cypress Hills, yeah. Cypress Hills, definitely, yes. I agree on that. Kirk, anything you want to put on, just say it, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, I will say around about 2002, I start seeing a change in music, and not a good one. And go back to the '90s, everybody had their own style and creativity. When you don't have creativity anymore in music, it's going to be dumbed down and it's going to suffer. The quality is not what it used to be. Talking about R&B with the New Jack Swing, guy, Teddy Riley produced a lot. You can hear that sound, but groups like Brownstone and SWV, was great, and I just really miss it, but you can always go back and listen to it, because see, black music fans, they got a bad habit of calling it old school. They're trying to put an expiration date on the music. The Rolling Stones, they fans don't do that. They still sell out to this very day. The Grateful Dead, call them Deadheads.
Chicago.
They can play it. Yeah, they can play it in the arena.
With Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yep. They can play it in the arena. They don't put expiration date on them acts, but we do. Be like, oh, that's old, and you can go internet, cable channels have those music choices, music channels where you can listen to classics and stuff like that, man. You have to pay homage.
Yeah.
You have to pay homage to the '90s. Hip hop and R&B. It was a great sound. It was great music.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Joyce Gilpay Vaughn, thanks for coming. Welcome. There's somebody I miss. There's somebody oh my God, there's somebody I miss. Oh no, let's see if somebody, not Michelle. Michelle Flynn, you gonna say, oh, Hop Ice? Okay, Ice baby. Okay, I got you. Okay, and so chill. Thanks for coming. Welcome. But the '90s for me was a great time because it was like a pot of gumbo. You got rock, you got R&B, you got people that start doing R&B collabos. Well, that's more happened in the 2000s. I'm sorry, but it really stopped in the 90s, starting in the 90s. Then you got people West End. Now a lot of people understand that now. Then at the 90s, we forgot about dance hall hip hop. They always had dance hall in our culture, but they even had dance hall hip hop. That was very big in the 90s. Go ahead, Kurt.
Yeah, you know, you had people like Super Cat who did the collab, you know, with Biggie. You know, you had Shirley Thunder, and you had Patra. You know, Shabba Ranks. You know, because that was instrumental, because when you had a show, they played a hip hop video, then an R&B video, but they will play a video featuring reggae artists. It just, you know, it just fit into everything. You know, it just went right along with the music, and then hip hop acts start incorporating, you know, the reggae sound. Like you can hear reggae artists in the background, you know, speaking, what's that? Patois. You know, so it was part of the hip hop scene. You know, they was very instrumental, you know, and even now, in the morning, I think they got this thing called Morning Glow, where you can listen to in BT Soul. I think they took it off my cable carrier, but BT Soul used to play old videos. They still do on Morning Glow, and they got that channel Hers that cater to female. I forgot the name of the channel. Eccentric. No, it's a different name. But they play old videos every morning. I get a treat looking at those videos, man. Really.
Yeah. And then Patra. Don't forget about Patra.
Yeah, I said her. Yeah, Patrick. Yeah, yeah. You know, especially, you know, Mad Lion. Take it easy, yeah. And like I said, yeah, Super Cat and Big. That's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah. Do I? What?
Yeah,
I
yeah. That was
used to get open, and we can't forget about the Marley's brothers too. They come up with some stuff too.
Yeah, it's just the movies, the movie soundtracks, the music, everything was just hitting in the 90s, man. I can't believe, you know, it's been like over 20 years, man. I don't know where the time went. I'm just glad I had my fun, because you don't get that time back. You know, it was just a happening lifestyle, man. It was a movement. You know, going to clubs, man. I used to go to Club Shadows in Manhattan, man, and they used to play Puff around about 96, 97. Puff had everything on lock. You know, New York radio stations, he had it on lock, like Hot 97. You know, I remember him and Wu-Tang getting into it, because Wu-Tang said, we from New York, and they won't even play our songs on the radio. You know, and I remember, I think one of the Wu-Tang members punched Mace in the face.
Yeah.
He punched it because he ripped down a Wu-Tang poster. I remember that. But, you know, anyway, on a lighter note, you know, it was just fun, man. It was just fun, you know. And if I'm not looking at a fight or whatever, or reading a book, and I'm listening to music, you know, and I'm listening to 80s and 90s. 70s, I listen to R&B. 90s, I listen to, you know, R&B, but mainly hip hop.
There he is, the Loso himself. Hold on, let me read this. Sir Kibler said, I remember Shabba Ranks being the big dog reggae, and that is facts. That's right, Sir Herbert. So that's right. Letting people know that we know what we talking about too. Oh, heads. That's right. Now back to Loso.
What's up, man? What they do, man?
What it do? That's my G right there. Welcome to the dark. Welcome to the dark.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And Kels and my other brother that's on the other line, man. God bless all of you, and thank you for having me in the panel.
God bless you too, Loso.
Yeah,
thank you.
God bless you, Loso. And yo, you keep on doing your thing, brother. I'm proud of you. I'm proud.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're doing a very good job.
You thanks a lot. Now, before I get to Kirk, what's your Come on, you heard you know.
I'm gonna get to it. First of all, I want to say God bless to the chat room. You know what I'm saying? God bless every brother and sister. Now, to me, the 80s hip hop was more of a Black Panther type of party existence. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the 80s hip hop was more about protecting your community, watching out for police brutality, taking care of your neighborhood, watching out for others that were in poverty, about breakdancing, about skills with your mouth. If you beat a brother in a freestyle or you beat him, you know what I'm saying, in a standoff, you shook hands and you took off. But then the crack epidemic happened, and when the crack epidemic happened in the early 80s, then everybody dissected into that level into hip-hop music. And I'm gonna name you a few of them were pimps too. Too Short is one of them that, you know what I'm saying, combined themselves into that era. You can't forget the Ghetto Boys. The Ghetto Boys combined themselves into that era as well. NWA. You can't forget Big Daddy Kane. You can't forget the Fat Boys. Y'all remember Ed Lover and Dr. Dre. I'm talking about from Kool Moe Dee. I'm talking about 2 Live Crew. I'm talking about the 69 Boys. I'm talking about the old school Outkast. I'm talking about even rappers like Big L. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? God bless his soul. Big Pun. Terror Squad. Terror Squad. Flipmode Squad with Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes was better back then to me on what he is today. But I still love him because he represented the culture of hip hop. You can't forget the Nappy Roots. And there's so many other like Lauryn Hill. What's the respect for Lauryn Hill? Lauryn Hill is a legendary hip hop mogul. But she don't get the respect that she deserves. What about MC Lyte? What about Salt and Pepper?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Just like y'all mentioned the Brat. What about Missy Elliott? Missy Elliott was one. What about Little Kim? What about Foxy Brown? What about Queen Latifah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why when we talking about rap, we talking about that's why I developed this, because what you saying about Loso, my brother Loso, my brother Kurt, my brother Sugar, and Kels, that era right there when we talk about is not being mentioned. That's why I developed this, so these youngsters will understand the power, the politics, the economics, what hip hop and R&B had at that time. And that's
underrated. Let me put it to you like this. Let me stop you for a minute. You see, back in the 80s, there weren't enough elites or enough billionaires to incorporate corporations from the hip hop scenery. But once they found out that they can manipulate the corporations with their so-called wealth, just like they did in the blackface era, they manipulated every illusion and mind programmed, and also gave you the promise that they were going to go ahead and be loyal and faithful. And what it did, it caused an epidemic that now everybody has to sign their soul, which is today music, which is mumble music. But when you look at back in the days of hip hop, it was more about culturalism, more about respect, more about the suffering, more about what our ancestors and families been through. Nas is one of them. Nas, when he wrote Illmatic 4 and he talks about the struggle and trouble, just like my favorite rapper Tupac, you see, these brothers were ignored because of what they were trying to do. And what happened was just like KRS-One. You can't forget KRS-One.
We said it before. Yep. Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? All this epidemic happened because the evolution of hip hop was sold to the Jews. And once it was sold to the Jews, the whole scenario and the whole perspective of the meaning of hip hop went dead. That's why Nas did that song, Hip Hop is Dead. And I totally agree with him 100%.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. Appreciate you on, Loso. Hey, Kurt, the sugar, Houdini. Black natives, thanks for coming. Houdini, that's right. Go ahead, Kurt.
The business side of hip hop, like I said earlier, the old school artists, it was a lady, not too far away from me, Sylvia Robinson. She had Sugar Hill Records, and unfortunately, she was ripping off the artists. You know, they didn't know any better. You know, like Big Bang Hank, he stole his run from Grandmaster Caz. You know, Sugar Hill Gang, when they did a hip, a hop, a hibbity, you know, the popular record, you know, that was Grandmaster Caz rhyme.
Right.
You know, and he never got paid for it. But, you know, so at that stage, all the hip hop artists getting ripped off. They give them like little money as possible. But see, you know, that change. You know, people like 50 Cent, Jay-Z, you know, Puffy Combs, you know, Andre Young, better known as Dr. Dre, they start getting business savvy. And they started making money outside the hip hop arena. You know, a lot of artists, but I named them because they made the most money. They in Forbes. They got hundreds of millions of dollars, $700-800 millions of dollars. You know, 50 Cent, you know, with the vitamin water, you know, so, you know, hip hop became a business. Right. And like I said before, you know, because corporations, they could make money off it. They was exploiting the music, but, you know, artists was making money, you know, until, you know, but before that, you know, they was getting ripped off.
You know, hold that thought, Kirk. Hop, I understand you saying about gospel and stuff like that, but we're not talking about gospel. We're talking about 90s hip hop. And
yeah, his conversation is really conflicting with this topic.
See, right now, I fall back. I got this because that's our problem right there. We always want to demonize somebody, another part of music in our culture that had an impact, that have a cultural positive impact, and that's not right with you. And I respect what you say, huh? But what you're doing, you're causing conflict to this conversation. Okay, there's a lot of good that happened in hip hop, just as a lot of good happened. I could say the same thing about gospel, but I'm not going to do that. But there's a lot of good happen in hip hop. I could talk like that because me and Kirk, we have seen hip hop has grown. Also has seen how it's grown. Even Kelsey how it's grown. Do it has a mistakes? Yes. Because see, you have to understand how. And I want other people in the chat and outside listen very clear. When you demonize the music, that means you demonize our movement. That means you demonize our culture. And I think I'm going to do a stream about that. I think I should start a series about that. And that is very, very dangerous. What we talk about tonight, we want to have fun, but we want to be uplifted. And in all due respect, Hop, let's stick to the issue. Let's see what's good of 90s hip hop and R&B. If you cannot respect that, if you want to leave, no problem. You can always come back. But of all due respect, don't disrespect our culture like that. That's not good. I can't let it happen. No, that's a no-no. Because if anybody would disrespect gospel, I would say the same thing. Don't do that. We trying to help our young people to know the power what I'm creating tonight of that topic. How to impact each other lives with Loso and Kurt and the Sugar and Poetic Chaos have beautifully has talked about. And then anybody, now I'm talking about anybody that is a mod. If anybody that going contrary, get them out. We cannot have that. You disrespecting the ones that laid the line of the movement. You are disrespecting our ancestors, had laid the foundation so we could talk about this music to keep it going positively. You disrespecting that, Hop. I cannot let that happen. No, no, no. Respect the music. Respect my family in here. Respect my channel. I'm sorry, Kirk. Keep it moving.
No, that's all right.
I have to get that
No.
out. I cannot let it happen. No.
No, but I was coming to my conclusion, man. You know, I'm very proud of hip hop. We done suffered some deaths, casualty awards, Big L and Grandmaster no Run DMC DJ. His name escaped me. You know, Big L and of course Pac and Big, you know, Freaky Tah, you know, is unfortunate, but like I said, hip hop is not a game. It's from the streets. It's raw like that. You know, I mean, it's raw. I remember I used to see 50 Cent hanging out on Jamaica Ave and 165th Street, you know, by the Coliseum. You know what I'm talking about, underrated.
Yes.
You know, that was the place to be. Well, clothes and jewelry, you know, and then seeing people like Mobb Deep become legends, you know, R.I.P. Albert Johnson, you know, 50 Cent, who's a, you know, just a dude hanging out, become a legend. You know, I mean, it feels good seeing your own, you know, go from nothing to something.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like the direction of the music right now. You know, I didn't grow up, you know, in this era. You know, the lyrics is not on point. I mean, I'm spoiled, man. I'm used to hearing people like Rakim and Cool G Rap and Nas and Kane and Chuck D and Karis One. You know, I can't tell you, you know, who's hot right now. I don't know. Maybe y'all can Migos. I can't tell you the new school rappers, but
Yeah.
I like seeing, you know, young blacks get money. You know, they doing the thing. You know, it's not what it used to be. The music is dumbed down, but it's still a dominant genre as of 2018. You know, so you know that's what it is. Underrated.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the one thing, Hop, I'm gonna drop a jewel on you too, and all praise to God and everything. Thank you so much. And you know that they're also gospel hip hop too. Do you understand that? You need to check that out too, because there's a lot of brothers, sisters have prayed God through hip hop too, and had changed their lives, has give to the Lord, and went back to the hood and helped our brothers and sisters and even grown-ups. That is something that you need to check out. All right? Loso, go ahead. Thanks for coming again. I got to get that out.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You're looking out. And I think hip hop should be defended, and it should always be, you know, one of our main prospects that we learn from being in the gutter and being in the streets. You know, it just made you feel good. You know, it made you bop, it made you weave, it made you carry a boom box, it made you break dance, it makes you cry, it makes you laugh, it makes you feel, it gives you an idea of what it is everyday living basis. Just imagine not having music. And I'm not just talking about hip hop or 90s music. I'm talking about classics, oldies, you know, rock and roll for the rock and rollers and jazz for the jazzers and tapping for the tappers. You see, every music has captivated somebody in their own way, shape, or form. Music is an everyday activity for whoever loves music. You know what I'm saying? People hear music to get up, to fall asleep, to stay up, to stay active. You know what I'm saying? To, you know, when they go to work from 9 to 5, when they chilling with their family, when they throw parties. The music has a very big history when it comes to the human body and the human spirit and the human soul. But we as ourselves, we also gotta understand that the culture of hip hop is going elsewhere. It's not going anywhere. And what I mean by that, the old school is being forgotten. The godfathers and the godmothers of music of the 80s and 90s and R&B are not being respected the way that they should. And the reason why is because they put them back on the shelf
not to be remembered or respected. You understand? You got a lot of talent and you got a lot of people out there that put their heart and soul into their music, into their craft. No matter if it's Christian, no matter if it's R&B, no matter if it's rap, no matter whatever it is. It is that people need to realize if it wasn't for our ancestors back then in the 80s and 90s doing music, we would not be where we at today when it comes to music. You see, I can't respect this mumble music. I'm sorry. I got a couple of cats that I do listen to. You understand what I'm saying? But my old school can never be removed from me. And I have to thank the godfathers and the godmothers that put this music into perspective and put sound and put rhythm and put chemistry and put knowledge and put wisdom and put understanding for me to be able to captivate and me also spark the brain of another brother and sister that doesn't understand our culture. I'm 41 years old, so I've been kind of around. You understand what I'm saying? And one thing that I did learn from Public Enemy says, stand up. You have a choice. You have a right to fight. And if this is the music that you love, represent for your music. And I think the 80s and 90s has that repetition that we will never forget about. But we have to respect our godfathers and godmothers in hip hop. And that's real talk, JT.
No, I'm good. No, for Party Cows, I'm good. Ain't nobody damping. No, I understand what you're saying. Ain't nobody damping nothing. That's crazy. Ain't nobody damping nothing.
I think my two sisters left.
Huh?
No, I was saying that I was just a little aggravated because my two sisters.
No, tell them why. Tell them why.
Because oh no, okay, my sister is here still, but I think Latasha was responding. I wanted them to understand. No, that wasn't directed to y'all, Michelle and Latasha. No, JT wasn't talking about y'all. He was talking about hop. You changed the whole subject from hip hop to gospel. And my sister, she's very spiritual. She loves gospel, so they was just responding. So they wasn't trying to, change the subject or anything. They was just responding. I was saying that Hop was the one who changed the whole topic in the chat.
Yeah. Now let me read this. Hop Radicals, not sure if you're serious.
I am serious.
I didn't mean to. I guess other forums in the chat is allowed to have more allowed to. I said I want to rock the boat. No, Radicals, fall back on this one.
Okay.
I know what Kels was saying, but Hop, did you know how I do? You know I show latitude and everything, but at the same time, if I put a topic on there, I expect people follow that topic. Okay, you know what I'm coming from, and what you're trying to do, you're trying to make me feel that I'm stupid. I am not stupid. This is my channel. I know what I created because I put it there to uplift people's minds. And then maybe you didn't hear this, but I usually don't say it twice, but I'm going to say one more time because God heaven knows I want to be in a good move. I want to be in a good move. But then also gospel hip hop. And it's been out for almost 30 years. And you need to check that out. You'll be surprised how much inspirational brothers and sisters that is on it. And it's not just having brothers and sisters. It is global. You know what I'm saying? It is global. It reached to every ethnic you think about it. Why don't you check that out, Hop? Check that out, please. Anybody else go first? Because I'm trying to get on. Oh, yeah, Uncle Shug. Uncle Shug, you shouldn't leave, man. Don't leave, man. Let me get my brother Uncle Shug back, cuz. Uncle Shug, come back, man. I don't want you to leave. I just had to get that out, because I understand. I'm not trying to make you feel stupid. Ain't all about changing. You bet it's hip. It is gospel hip hop. Like I said, it's been almost go almost 30 years. I ain't trying to make you feel stupid. I'm just letting you know how it is. No. Ain't no dampening me. We gonna keep this going. Forget all that. Uncle Suge, come back. We'll keep this going. Kurt, go ahead. You can say whatever you want, and after that, Loso. We gonna keep this going.
Okay. Yeah, hip hop has touched everything. Gospel, hip hop. You have Brother Haas and this new guy. I forgot his name, man. But like I said, piggyback what I said. I just love hip hop, man. I will always listen to it. I just feel that it's been very important to us as a people. It had the player type style hip hop. You don't have the black conscious style hip hop. You had everything. Even though the music is not the same, I like to see the younger people, they vibe into it now. Hip hop is everywhere. It just seemed like it just came like a typhoon and just took everything over. It pushed R&B to the side, rock to the side. You know, it's just very dominant. I don't have much more to say about the topic, but it's everywhere. You got Cardi B who came out of nowhere. Nicki Minaj. You got the Migos. I don't know much about the new stuff. I try to keep up with it, because I have a 14-year-old son. So, I keep an eye on him. We'll see what he's listening to be involved, So, I'll pass the mic to Losa.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Well, you know what? I think we all can learn from each other's evaluations when it comes to music. I think music brings a very big perspective into everybody's life. Hip hop has been very important in a matter of a 40-year period. The extension where it has taken its course is higher than life itself. It's beautiful. Just like what's his name? Eddie Murray used to say, it's the most beautiful thing in this world because it's just like that. You know what I'm saying? And the format of just how music has elevated from the 80s till now is a big difference. But there's a big difference because in the 80s and early 90s, you had to be different to fit in. I think Eminem, in one of his interviews, he was talking about if you wasn't different and if you had the same persona or same flow or same, creativity or stability that a rapper had back in the 80s, you was considered not to being a rapper. And by the Source magazine, you probably got two mics or maybe two and a half mics. You understand what I'm saying? What means you a piece of shit. And keep it in perspective. But see, music also created a platform for those that were lost, for those that had a poetry and a harmony and a passion to bring out what they feel, what they've been through, or how they want to express their matter of an appreciation when it came to the blessings or the talents that God gave them. You understand? I'm not trying to knock nobody's opinion or feeling and how they feel about hip hop. If this is a brand new agenda of the new culture, you know what I'm saying, for people to respect it and love it, I don't disagree for not my brothers not to make the money that they're making. You're making your money. Go ahead, take care of your family and do what you do. It's what is behind the scenes today that you have to do for you to pursue and have a career like Jay-Z or like Eminem or many stars like Drake, who is also being manipulated into certain things that he don't want to do. So there's a big difference between the 80s and 90s culture of hip hop and R&B or what it is today. I would like to see more Latins and Blacks entrepreneurs in music and production and producing and making the culture signify and keep glorifying what hip hop means to us and how it represents for us and our culture and our everyday people that go through the struggle. All I gotta say is I agree with the brother. You understand what I'm saying? Love hip hop because hip hop has pushed away rock and roll, has pushed away every elevation of music, and it has taken over, just like Jay-Z says with the takeover. You understand? You're gonna go through your battles in hip hop. You're gonna go through your differences when it comes to R&B. You understand what I'm saying? You're gonna go through your different elevations, and you're gonna escalate, or you just gonna downgrade. That's why you got so much beautiful talent today. But at the same time, and I'll end it with this: you have a difference the way music was managed and fixed back into what it is today. And it needs to be talked about because there's a lot of our youngins that do know what's going on with corporations and how they downplay and side play, their rappers or their artists or whoever's in their record label. But back then, just like I said, it was more about the culture. It was more about protecting each other and building a craft and a dynasty that I don't think will ever die. And that's what hip hop is to me. A dynasty that will never go away.
Mm-hmm. And also get back the classic, get back the hip hop of gospel classic. Kirk Franklin was one of the few ones started gospel classic. I mean, started gospel hip hop. God's prophecy, and other people, the new nation. Look at the rebirth for Kirk Franklin. But see, this is the thing that some of us and our people, and I have to say before I'm gonna pass it to Kels, that we want to reach every aspect of our people. We cannot pick and choose who we want to reach to or not to reach to. That's what God not want us to be. He want us to reach everybody so everybody can know his word. And at that time, Kirk Franklin had to understand, he understood that, and other people around understood that. Because God prophecy was a big moment of hip hop. Because at that time, hip hop thought that the black church did not care about hip hop. But Kirk Franklin, what he did and other ones, they brought it together. They understand that we hurt too. And after that, that's when hip hop really stopped being good. It was global already, but it really started being global. Because they understand. That's why I said I have to say what I have to say a few minutes ago. Because the sad thing about it, family, these attitudes are still happening. And the voices that I've talked about is still happening. When are we going to understand we got to do whatever it takes to reach everybody? When? Tell me when. Poetic Carols, you can go ahead. Because I'm going to keep this going. I'm not giving up. We're going to ride this out.
You made a good point about, Kirk Franklin. He was one of the ones that I did like. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really into gospel music, but he was one of the ones I did like. And, they said that it's really not good to mix gospel and hip hop together, but some of it sounded good. But like I said, I feel like hip hop and R&B from the past have painted the path for artists today. They're not getting the respect that they deserve, but I still listen to R&B and hip hop from the early 90s, some from the 80s. Like I said, anything that helps my writing is very, very imperative that I write. I cannot write to today's music. I find myself going all the way back to the early 90s, 91, 92, so that I could write my poetry and sometimes my story. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'm going to stick to that. And that music touches my heart and my soul than today's music. I don't know what they're doing today. I feel like it's, even if there was back then kind of like a satanic movement in the industry, I couldn't tell. But I can tell in today's music. And I'm not feeling it in my heart or my soul. And that's all I got to say.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Kurt, my brother Sugar.
Yes, sir.
You can say what we want.
Oh, okay. Well, we touched on hip hop, touch on R&B. Like I said, the New Jack, swing was in full effect. Um, I used to love groups like Brownstone. One of my favorite remakes of all time was Shantae Savage. I Will Survive. Man, she slowed it down.
Oh,
I said,
yeah.
man, this a classic, man. But as unfortunately, you don't hear from these artists again. You don't know where they at. R&B is totally different now. Totally different.
Yeah.
Hip hop too. You have Brownstone. Of course, Jodeci was like at the forefront because they was one of the hottest groups in the world. Regardless what genre of music you talking about, they was on fire with they hits. And I remember they did that song with Wu Tang because you had a lot of hip hop artists doing collabs with R&B. The Freak in You, the remix. Oh, that was fire. Raekwon, Ghostface, and Jodeci, and don't forget Mary J. Blige, man. When she came out, oof, she had I know y'all heard it. What's the 911? But it wasn't the original album. It was the remixes. It was more like a hip hop album, hip hop / R&B album. The first one was because she had Grand Poobah on there, but she had one called I think 411 or 911, 411, but it was the remix edition. Man, that album was hot, and she had it on lock, man. Mary J had it on lock because she was like queen of hip hop soul. And I love Beyonce, but Mary J. Blige had a connection with the hood that Beyonce never had. With all the collabs she did with hip hop artists. And just hip hop music, man. Because I forget some of the smaller groups in the '90s. I could hear the music in my head. Escape, of course. I can't forget them. What the line Biggie said about them. But it is what it is, man. I just make it my business to listen to this music and cherish it, man. I got it all in my phone, watch it on TV, radio, CDs, so that's what it is, man.
Okay, cool. All right, Uncle Shug, Famo.
Man, what's good? I don't know what's wrong. I'm trying to get on my computer because my phone about to die. But it's saying please wait. So I don't know why I can't join the hangout on my computer, my brother.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get on, man. And that's why I just showed you on the screen. Look, I'm gonna show it again. It's saying please wait to join this hangout.
Okay. I'm gonna keep on trying then.
Yeah. Or I don't know if you got my other email. Send it to that one or something.
No, you might have to put it in the chat because I don't have.
Sure.
All right, Famo. Yeah, but you can go ahead, Loso.
Well, I want to name a few.
Go ahead.
First of all, I got to name Baby Tyrese. I'm talking about the Baby Tyrese. 112. Y'all remember 112 Peaches and Cream?
So he got a pitch up. He got a pitch he could have just tried to go for the fence. But when you're an RBI guy, you try to get the job done. He put a nice down through ball swing, and the ball stayed up a little longer than he anticipated. But
hold on.
You have to give it up to him.
Pedro, most of Boston had cardiac arrest during the course of that ninth inning. 500 plus appearances for Kimbrel in his 9-year career, never allowed runs in 4 straight appearances until now in this postseason, got dicey in that 9th inning.
Go ahead.
All right. I know a lot of people probably don't know this. Y'all remember the singer, Aaron Hall? He sang that song, I Miss You. Well, maybe you know and Kels know and probably some other people know, but Aaron Hall was going to get married to the reggae sensation, Miss Patra. Miss Patra died of an illness, and Aaron Hall was with her in her last days. They were supposed to get married and everything. And that song, I Miss You, was dedicated to Patra. That dude was a sensational singer. I can't forget Gerald Levert. I can't forget Luther Vandross. I can't forget Johnny Gill. I can't forget what is these boys' name? Jagged Edge.
Jagged Edge, right.
I can't forget. You know what? Even though it's not talking about hip hop, but I'm a Prince fanatic. I love me some Prince. I love me some Whitney Houston.
They say in the 90s too.
But they were more in the 80s part.
Like, more in the 80s, yeah.
Exactly. I can't forget even the old school Madonna. I enjoy listening to the old school Madonna. It was my type of music at that time. I can't forget the Beastie Boys. You remember the Beastie Boys? Brass Monkey, that monkey jump. That was one of the classics right there. But I also can't forget. Oh my God, it's so many of them to name. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I feel that the hip hop culture will always enlighten those that don't even know it. Just like you said, it's global. Now you got Chinese rappers, you got Russian rappers, you got Japan rappers, you got UK rappers, you got Scotland rappers, you got so many countries now that have adopted to hip hop, that hip hop has become a symbol of what music is in today's era. But R&B also brought a lot of the hip hop status that we have from yesterday and today. And I'm going to go with Mary J. Blige, because Mary J. Blige connected with the hood. She was related to the hood. Understand what I'm saying? Like Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown is another one. Vanilla Ice is another one. MC Hammer is another one. You know what I'm saying? These are people that elevated the music status of hip hop mixed with R&B. You can't forget R. Kelly. Even though R. Kelly's going through what he's going through right now, his music is fantastic. You can't take that away from him. Come on, man. Hootie bump and grind. You remind me of my Jeep back in the 90s. Who didn't bump to Casey and JoJo? You know what I'm saying? That's another group that I love with a passion. You understand? There is so many legends out there that I don't think get the respect that they deserve. But you see, we got to be the ones to keep it alive. Nobody's mentioned LL Cool J. LL Cool J was the love of hip hop. He was the Don Juan of hip hop. You feel me? When that song came out, I Need Love, all the women in the world went crazy with that song. And I will never forget that song that Queen Latifah did, UNITY. UNITY was a representation for sisters that got tired of being called the B word and being called the H word, and she represented that. And who was the man to me, who was my favorite rapper back then in the 80s, will always be MC Lyte, because she brought that gangster, she brought that truth, she brought that charisma into her performances and her passion with hip hop. So you see, my boy JT, my brother, if I keep talking, I can go as way back as Africa Bambaataa. So, like you said, let's keep this alive. Let's show the music and hip hop the respect that it deserves. Because if it wasn't for hip hop, a lot of doors would have never been open for brothers like us.
All right. Poetic Cows.
No, Uncle Suge dropped his other email
I got it.
for you to.
Thank you. Yeah, I got him in. Uncle Suge, look out for it.
You remember Helter Skelter?
Oh yeah, of course. Paul,
Yeah. Wow.
Paul
Shout
is
out
Damn.
that up.
crazy. What? Yeah.
Yeah, and Aaliyah, of course. Much love to Aaliyah.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh shoot.
And she shocked me with that one. Helter Skelter Poetess.
Yeah.
Man, you shocked me with that one.
Wow.
RP to Sean Price. God, dog, I ain't expect you to name that.
Yeah, the great Sean Price.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Yeah, they album was called Nocturnal. They was part of Boot Camp Click. Them,
Yeah.
Smith and Wesson, Buckshot. You know, Pop gave them that name, Buckshot Shorty. They was real tight. You know,
Right.
but yeah, Helter Skelter. Damn, you messed me up with that one.
Yeah, I remember Helter
Yeah,
Skelter.
that one threw me for a loop too. So yeah, shout out to Sugar for bringing that one up.
Yeah. And don't forget about the Boot Camp Click too.
Oh yeah. How could I?
Yeah, man, they had that grimy New York sound, man, that boom bap sound that I love, man. You know, they was, like I said, but they was just, you know, they came at the wrong time, but they got a lot of respect in the tri-state area.
Yeah. But Uncle Suge, I sent it to you. Watch out for it. I'm gonna send it again. Also, we forgot to bring this up to all our hip hop too, and also playing the big venues too, and also gospel hip hop too. You know, they play in big venues at the time too. We're reaching other people, so I need to throw that in. And also hip hop, you know, a lot of those artists that we talked about, they was in block parties. They was raising money for our community. They was raising money for other of services in our community around the country, even around the world. So, Loso, talk about that part, please.
I'll tell you what. I was a little bit occupied with something. Can you repeat that for me just one time so I can go ahead and go off of what you're saying?
Oh, you want me to repeat that?
Yeah, because I was looking at something. I was a little bit distracted. I was looking at something. Just repeat that
Okay.
just one time.
Now remember, that's all right. I got you. In hip hop, we all the people we talk about in hip hop. I know you remember when that at that time hip hop had with the hip hop, you know, a lot of these artists, they was in block parties. They was raising money for the block party, raising money for different charities and stuff. I want you to talk more about that, brother.
Well, I'm gonna set it off with New York because I think New York has the biggest, you know, hip hop history in any state or any country in the world. It's where the godfather status of hip hop came from. And I believe a lot of the people that founded hip hop through charity funds and all were big time drug dealers who rappers were getting to be more connected to them into business and even as bodyguards to have them as security. So that right there also expanded, you know what I'm saying, the economic, and also it expanded the music nationwide because it was a lot of drug dealers based on a true story. When what's his name? Alpha was there, when Glaze was there, when the 5% was there, especially the Cypress Hill buildings. Them buildings were off the chain. And then you got Yonkers, you got Brooklyn, you got Southside Jamaica, Queens, and then you had, you know what I'm saying, New Jersey, you have Philadelphia, you have all these cities connected together, and that right there transpired the hip hop scenery into the same epidemic, like I told you in the 80s. So that right there was a foundation for hip hop. You understand? It put hip hop in the map into saying instead of just sending records out your trunk, now you're gonna start sending records nationwide. Now your name is gonna be, you know, it's gonna be in the center of attention in in the naked eye. So that right there, within the years of expanding, what it created, it was a corporation and a foundation, and it opened up doors to so many people that have talent. And especially when you have that type of security, you got that type of money to back up your foundations and charities, you have to get the certain amount right of people to do it. Because if you didn't have them connections to be able to move your music, there wasn't no way that the hip hop culture or the hip hop scenery was going to be recognized or even remembered. So I know it's not selfish to say it, but it is the truth. The big time drug dealers of New York that used to push a lot of weight, they were one of the biggest reasons why hip hop right now is the biggest corporation in the industry when it comes to music. But they're not gonna let you know that because they don't want you to really know what partakes in the hip hop world when it comes to numbers, when it comes to numerology, when it comes to the businesses, when it comes to the professional side. They only gonna tell you what you want to hear. So you're fine with that contradiction because you don't fight it or you don't ask questions. But when you look deeper into the hip hop community, it was mostly founded by big time drug dealers. And just keep it 100.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Uncle Suge in his house. Welcome, family.
Peace, man. How's everybody doing? Peace to everybody on the panel, and especially the Queen. How y'all doing?
Peace.
Peace.
Peace, my brother. Peace, man, for real.
Peace, Uncle Suge. How you doing?
Wonderful, man. Y'all dropping some jewels, man. I missed most of the show, man, but I don't know the brother's name right here. Loso. Man, he dropped a bunch of jewels, man, and I checked a couple of his videos he did when he was breaking down a couple of the some of them 90s artists like the Ghetto Boys and tracks he be going through, man. Y'all dropping jewels over here, man. So I'm just enjoying it. I missed most of the show. So, I don't want to get the backtracking or nothing.
No, we want to hear what you talking about, sir. Come on, sir. You family. Come on, man.
Man, it's so many to name. I can't, to be honest, man, I can't even just, because I listen to I'm a little different on music, man. And back in the 90s, bro, my mind was in the gutter. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I liked that gutter ass shit,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what my mind was at, man. But
well, that's what it's at.
Yeah, I wasn't listening to R&B, but all the artist Poetic Kill's name was who was popping in in the clubs and everything back in the 90s. It was right on point. But I do think it's a difference in hip hop and rap music. I kind of separate the two, and I think I was more attracted to rap music versus hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
I think hip hop was more like East Coast, and I look at rap music being more Southern and West Coast type. So, and that's kind of more what I was drawn to, basically because of my lifestyle. I listened to beats over the lyrics back then. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff I wasn't really into, like Biggie he wasn't an artist that I listened to. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm different on the music, man. But rap is or hip hop, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a big gateway for us to express our stories, the lifestyle, the things we witnessed growing up. It was a way to tell story. Like rap is reality and predictions to me. People is telling reality and they also predicting things. They call it cap rap, when guys acting like they got certain things, but they just kind of predicting what they will attract in their future, and I also learned to stop putting other people's music down. If I don't like it, try not to judge it so harshly, because I'm pretty sure it's somebody out there that do like it. So before I criticize an artist, I just realize that music ain't for me. So I mean, I'm just different on the music, man.
I appreciate that, man. Contributions means a lot. That's why I invite you, because I think the key is that that music is very diverse. And then I think that sometimes that we get so caught up in being this certain genre of music, we tend to forget about other people need to be reached. And hip hop to me always been a diverse music that is not being respected. You know, I had people have been locked up, you know, and then they had come home and they had told me that they listen to hip hop. It has saved them. They came out and right now they have been they've been citizens. You know, some of them had their own companies. Some of them had living great lives. They had restored the family. And so what hip hop had done to people, I had seen it because it had changed me too personally. Because in the 90s, you know, it was for me, but personally, I've been through a lot. And you know, going through hip hop and y'all know that people say, "Oh, you should let music dominate your life." No, I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about the inspiration of hip hop had pulled me through. And I feel that when I developed this topic and everything, I'm just giving piece of myself back to let hip hop and the music of the 90s know to thank you so much to bring me for where I am today. And I just want to salute to that. I really do. Of every genre of hip hop and stuff like that. That's what I want to do.
Let me come back on that, Jay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because you know what you just said, that's part of my story too. You know, that's what I started, my record label. The first business I started coming out of prison because I didn't have, you know, no other work history and none. So, and what else could I do but tell some stories and gather other artists up and try to record them. So I was making beats and also trying to write music. So that was the first piece of intellectual property of mine that I created and was able to put out for sale in 2012. And it's still generating a small amount of income for me now, and it will for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? That's something hip hop done for me. So that's a good that point that you just made, you know?
Yeah, it did, man, because you know, hip hop had got me through, you know, I ain't gonna lie, hip hop had got me through my late father's passing. Hip hop had made me get through my grandmother's passed away in 96, my aunt 98, my great aunt 2001. It got me through my divorce. It got me through it, you know, and to really, really look back to not pay homage to that, that's a slap in the face to me that made hip hop and our ancestors up there in heaven. So I can't let that happen. You know what I mean? Because sure, you know, it was somebody had disrespect this conversation, and I'm kind of happy you wasn't even there because I know you would have blown me with a flipped, and I had to let this person know this cannot happen. Stick to the issue. And so it's still people to this day had disrespect this part of popular music. They still think it's just something just being there. So when you think it's something just being there, that means you disrespecting people had got through this part of music, had identified of that person life of that time, of that language, of that momentum, of that movement. And people still disrespecting that and maybe feel they can say what they want. No, you're not. Go down this channel, you're not. And that is the sad thing about it. We still demonizing this music. We still think that there is nothing. We still think that, oh, I could boil it up in the garbage. I could boil this paper and throw it in the garbage. Because when I tell people this all the time, I want people outside to understand this. When you have that certain thinking, that means that you're throwing your own people in the garbage. That have rise up from the bottom and strive to be great. Just as how my brother Uncle Suge had done. Just as my queen Party Kells has done. Just as my brother Loso has done. And he be spitting balls. Or spiritual, whatever it is. And even Kirk, me and Kirk, we talk about get our own thing, break down the music, how it impact us. So anybody had disrespect with, how goddamn fucking dare you do that? No way. No way in hell you're going to disrespect the music, because everybody that you see on this panel and even inside this chat had paid the way. We had paid the way and we got through. And I want to thank y'all so much in the chat that stayed, because a lot of them has left.
Hey, you made another good point, Toe Jay, about how you said all the things that hip hop got you through. See, that proves that hip hop, it's a song for every emotion. Y'all think about that. You know what I'm saying? For every single emotion, you know, we got RIP songs, sex songs, you know, killing niggas songs. I don't care what it is. It's a song for every emotion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And sometimes, like, you know, and I want Kurt and Loso and Porter Kells going to this. I can hear a song my brother Uncle Suge. It brings me back to that moment when I was in, and think of right now how I overcome. And I'm not just saying just hip hop, because there's other factors, other sectors of our music has happened too. So I'm not talking about, because I've talked about that in the past too. Of course, yes, it is. But Maxine Nightingale, she sang back in the 70s. Louis Armstrong, okay. Tony, okay. Yeah, all right. The Sugar.
Yes, sir. Well, I want to say this about hip hop. Not only it was music, it was a lifestyle. You know, I remember hanging out on by Woolly Burgers on 145th Street.
Yeah.
Remember, that's where all the players was at. You know, all the players.
Right.
Boy George, Alpo, you know, AZ, all of them was there, man. You know, because I lived in Queens for 2 years, because when I was a kid being in Newark, New Jersey, man, I was in love with so much love in New York, it became an obsession. You know, that's where hip hop was born in '73. You know, and hip hop was a craze before it became popular. So, you know, we used to watch people like Cold Crush Brothers come to your city and perform. You know, Run DMC when they was in their infant stages, they wasn't popular yet. You know, Tila Rock, you know, and I was like, you know what? I used to take my little bit of allowance and ride the trains all day, because I had to know the subway system, transfer without paying extra money. That's when they had the tokens underrated.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
You know, 75-cent tokens. And you know, when you walk in a Fort Apache, South Bronx, on Sedgwick Avenue, you could feel the music. You ain't have to hear nothing. You could feel it. Just like Harris once said, walk through the Bronx, you could feel it.
Yeah.
And it was like falling in love with a woman. So I was over there every week, you know, going to the clubs. They hooked up with some women, lived over there, got cool with their brothers or cousins or whatever. You know, I was like, I'm moving in. You know, and it became a lifestyle, because hip hop will put pressure on you, how to dress. Because remember what Mekhi Phifer told Wood Harris in the movie Paid in Full, when Wood Harris was looking like a bum, he said, you don't gotta worry about nothing. You be invisible in the club.
Right.
Because he ain't have it going on. And see, that's hip hop. Hip hop will force you to dress. You dress, you know, we used to rock the British Walkers and the Wallabies. I still wear them. You know, in the 90s, you know, Wu-Tang had a store. They used to dye your Wallabies right there, any color you want. Any color you want, when they was in Stapleton and Park Hill Projects. So,
I remember that,
you know, me being 52, I caught hip hop at the exact time I was 12 years old. I heard my first hip hop record. It was the Fatback Band, King Tim III.
Yeah.
Then Sugar Hill came out a couple of months after that.
79.
You know, and I lived it, right? I lived it. I was 12 years old. I lived it. you know, from the 70s, 80s, 90s. I don't listen to it now, but I listen to the classic joints from 80s and 90s, of course.
Hold that thought, Kirk. Now,
Yeah.
the Fatback Band, before Kirk continued, the Fatback Band was a legendary R&B. They back in Queens. They started in 1970. They was made little hit here and there, but they start coming in their own back in 75, 76. They start they make a lot of hits. So King Tut, like Kurt's saying, that was the very first hip hop record that was in mainstream. That is not getting credit is due. Now the Fatback Band, they still don't get. They did not get no notoriety or checks or anything for that record to this day. They got a little of it, but they did not put it that there because you got to understand, mainstream media did not play hip hop at that time. It was still in the making. Like Kirk was saying, that Soul Train was still big that day. Don Caney still did not recognize hip hop at that time, so he did not put the Fatback Band of that time. So the Fatback Band, they had to go of different radio stations to really push that. But King Tut was a breakthrough hit that helped hip hop to put that record into mainstream media. I have to say that because I've seen it myself. So that record needs to be recognized. The Fatback Band, and plus the Fatback Band has put they put their popularity on the line too, because they was getting backlash from R&B too, but they knew what important was of hip hop. They understand the movement of hip hop, the streets, so they have to put it out there. And plus, at the same time, they arrange their own music. And they own rap. New York was big back then. I want you to understand that. I'm sorry, Kirk, you can go on. I'm sorry I have to bring
No, that's all right, bro. That's all right. And you know, and like I said, hip hop is a way of life because what it did, I wanted the jewelry. You know, I was a big fan of Spoonie G in the early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted the nice clothes. So what I do, I had to work hard. You know, hip hop was always my big brother, always, because it taught me, you know, about women. It taught me how to dress. I wanted the fancy cars, and I strived to get it. I started working at TDS, and I strived to get it. That's what hip hop did. It made me a better person, believe it or not. You know, my mother and father was, of course, they was instrumental because they gave me a loving home. But hip hop, you know, because you was either in the in crowd or you wasn't. There was no in betweens. You know, at that time you had the 5% nation going, 5% nation going on. You know, and you know, and then from that, then you had Stretch and Bobbito show. Every major MC in the 90s came through that station before they was played on Hot 97. Jay-Z, Nas, Big, The Lox, Cameron, I mean, Big Pun, Fat Joe, everybody. They still come on. It's called the Deacon Strange Show. It's a new dude, Stretch and Bobbito retired. So hip hop, to me, was a way of life.
Cool. Poetic Cows, Queen.
Yes, you were right. You said hip hop, you know what I'm saying, was a lifestyle. Like I said, back in, you know, the 80s or early 90s, I was more so into R&B than hip hop. I had to grow. I'll say probably like 93 when Bone Thugs and Harmony came out, I got more into hip hop because I love them. I really, really love them. And like I said, each song or each artist that I came across defined how I felt at that time. If I was in love, I would play some Shy, you know what I'm saying, like Baby I'm Yours or The Comforter. Or if I was heartbroken, I'll play some Mariah Carey, like I Don't Want to Cry, Can't Let Go. Or if I felt like a freak, I'll play some Silk, like, you know, Lose Control, or, you know, Freak Me, or any of that. It just defined how I felt at that time. And if I listen to those songs today, it would take me back to that moment. And, you know, it kind of made me miss the good old days. It really does. And I do try to, get into, some of today's music is hard. I must say that there's a handful of music from today that's okay. You know what I'm saying? They don't make, they don't sing as good as they do, or they don't rap as good as they do. But there's a handful of music out here that I like from today's. But other than that, when it comes to me writing my poetry, I have to go all the way back to the 90s because I got to feel that it got to stimulate my mind, body, and soul. So I just want to say this was definitely a good topic. I'm glad you brought it up. Much love to the chat. Yeah, took me all the way back, put a smile on my face. And JT, I appreciate this. I really do.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Low soul.
Well, I'll give you my input. I saw hip hop as a way out for me. I saw hip hop as a way to express myself. I saw jazz as a way to show emotion in hip hop. I saw rock and roll to explore my madness in hip hop. I use R&B and oldies and classics to mold my love in hip hop. So you see, there's different type of varieties of music that I impose and I engage into so I can get a perspective of how I feel about the music that I love doing. It's like it's like poetry and flowetry. You understand what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Like a divine power. It's like a divine power that you possess. And that divine power can be obsessive or it can be a curse to you. Well, it's a blessing and a curse to me because everything I went through with my life, I expressed it with the music. You see, what I went through was the curse, and the music was the blessing because it taught me how to also reflect upon myself in a righteous way. I'm gonna tell you something right now. The piece of shit I used to be, the player, the cheater, the manipulator, the womanizer that I used to be, Tupac reflected on me. Too Short reflected that on me. The Ghetto Boys reflected that. Bone Thugs reflected that. And so many, like, I'm not even gonna lie. James Brown taught me a lot of things. Sam Cooke taught me a lot of things. Marvin Gaye taught me a lot of things. Al Green taught me a lot of things. The Temptations, Earth, Wind, and Fire taught me a lot of things. The Temptations taught me a lot of things. Michael Jackson, the greatest entertainer who ever did it, taught me a lot of things. And you know how all that music reflects into hip hop? Because it comes from the same culture. It comes from the same struggle. You don't understand what I'm saying? And it comes within the person's heart and soul. So if nobody can take what is already in you, that's what hip hop and the culture of hip hop represented to me and what it means to me. It means love, sincerity. It means chaos, pain. It means striving, making it, never faking it. Because believe me, the embrace that you bring, a hater will come and try to break it. So you got to be the one to implement the music that you feel with every other expression of music that you ever have encountered to. Even country music has a way that they rhyme words together and it sounds like a white culture of hip hop, but it's just country music. It's like Christian music, which is gospel music. You got T-Bone. You got groups like the Wu-Tangs in Christian music that express themselves to different variety of music, but they put it in hip hop. Just like Tech Nine. I can't forget Tech Nine. Just like MC Ace. I can't forget MC Ace. You know what I'm saying? From Menace to Society. Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? When he started doing his first diss tracks and he started putting music in a perspective where you can express yourself. You know what I'm saying? And having a producer like Dr. Dre, or my favorite producer of all time, Master P. Yep, that's my favorite producer of all time. And I'm going to tell you why. This brother right here, in a 2-year period, brought everybody in the South, in the Midwest, in the East Coast, and the West Coast to collaborate in his music in a 2-year period and made $400 million. He was at the Forbes magazine right next to Michael Jackson. And I'm talking about probably the year 2001 or 2002 when TRU Master P was taking over. And the reason why I got respect for that brother is because his grandfather gave him $10,000. And out of them $10,000, he turned No Limit Soldier into a fucking empire. And you know what? You cannot disrespect hip hop. Hip hop, just like my boy Uncle Suge said, you have a song for every expression that you feel. So imagine having that expression without the music that you love. So to me, hip hop represents life, represents the struggle, represents your tears, your pain, etc. Like I said. So JT, I ended with this, and I say this: let's bless hip hop. Let's continue to analyze and always talk about hip hop, because without it, the culture of today and especially yesterday would not be here today to even talk about it.
Appreciate that.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
For everybody on the panel. And I want us all to think about this, because I know we all it's older, 30 plus probably. Everybody on the panel, maybe not Poetic Kills, maybe she about 27 or something. I don't know.
Oh, she's in her 30s.
Okay.
I appreciate that. No, I'm 37.
Oh, okay. Cool. You damn sure don't look it. All right, listen. I got us. This is a serious question too. All right. Because I be hearing what a lot of us say about today's rap, right? Now, do y'all think the way we judge today's rap may be us just getting older and not understanding the youth now? Because think about this, y'all. Think about this. Our parents said the same damn thing about all the rappers we talk about. All the rappers we listen to, our parents talked about the way they dressed, the music, the lyrics, everything. The older generation talked about the younger music. So do y'all think the way we judge today's music has something to do with us getting older and maturing in a different way?
Okay, you know what? We go. All right, go ahead, Kurt.
That's a good question. I would say no, because we're more in tune when it comes to hip hop than our parents was. They just didn't understand the music as a whole. With myself being in hip hop since the late 70s, I done seen a de-evolution in hip hop. In the 88 and the mid 90s, it had a lot of creativity. And now it doesn't have no creativity. I used to be mad, but I can't be mad because it's also a progression of life. You can't stop it. That's just the way the direction of the music has gone. People call it mumble rap. I don't care to listen to it, but I like them getting money. Some of them don't. A lot of them don't have an education or whatever. Was born poor and they rich. That I like. As for the style, I'm not with it. Because I'm spoiled. I'm used to hearing lyricists. But I'm not mad no more because that's just how it is. You can't stop the progression of life. It may get worse than this. Is a style that I don't agree with. But who am I to say? They get in that bag, so that's what's up. And like I said, the progression of life, man, and you can't stop it no matter what direction the music is going in. That's just how it is in life.
Okay. All right. Also.
Well, I'll tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you how hip hop can impact you, the new generation, and also your parents. This is based on a true story. I remember one time I was coming home from work, and my mom was having some problems. She was dealing with a lot because a single mother that takes care of two boys and a girl is very hard for them. But I remember her reaching on the CD shelf. I didn't say anything. I just paused for a minute because I was just seeing what CD she was gonna grab from my shelf. She ended up grabbing Tupac, and she told me, "I need to cry. Is it okay if I listen to this song?" I was mold. I looked like a mule. I couldn't believe my eyes that my mom just grabbed a Tupac album because my mom did not like any type of rapper. She despised every rapper she ever heard me even putting on the radio. And then she put Dear Mama. When she put Dear Mama, there was this sense of bondage that we never had towards each other when it came towards each other's music. You see, because my mom taught me about Spanish music, you know, salsa, merengue, reggaeton, Spanish rap. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of sensational Spanish rappers that don't even get talked about, especially in Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Panama, Brazil. So when I saw my mother crying, when she was playing Dear Mama, that right there was a sense of me into saying I cannot judge my mother for what she does like and doesn't like, because even a rapper can change your way of thinking of how you see a certain aspect of a difference of music within hip hop or any type of other music. And ever since that day, my mom has been a passionate lover of Tupac Shakur. So I believe that the new generation and the old generation of music can actually come to an understanding, even if you disagree to agree or agree to disagree. But if it changed my mother's opinion of certain amount of rappers that really got knowledge and bars of what they do, imagine what they could do to a generation or people that don't understand the culture of hip hop.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good. All right, Suge. Oh, it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my turn. I got to answer, huh? Well, for me, I would say it like this. You true would say that, but there is a difference. There's a difference of timing. I think that when I was coming up, and Kirk, you could attest to that, that we always respect the ones that put forward of good music, and then we understand the social change, and sometimes we listen with the parents, and that helps me. So that's what, like I always say, I have an old soul, because I do. I've been around like older people, and even the times even back then, maybe it was different time, but the conditions of our community at that time didn't change. So, but the civil rights movement, I'm just talking for me, the civil rights movement has died out. This is why I was hitting my teens, hitting my going towards, I think, 8 or 9. That's when hip hop, like Kurt was saying, 73. It was my call. It was my own calling. It was like hip hop. They talk to me the conditions of what they see, what I see, and they see, and it had grown. And I see the resentment of my late father and my mother's generation. Majority of them they don't want to adopt to it. Some of them did because of their kids. And so throughout the rest of my life and everything, I have seen the disappointment of hip hop. Also, I see the lovely growing of hip hop, the evolution of hip hop. And I know I don't feel the same way. Throughout the years, we always respect the ones who paid the way. And then they fought real hard to make sure the economics was there. Even though they get screwed, but they fought for that, to have their own businesses, like as you done, sure. Like you said, you fought to have your own business. when you came out, and I had to say that I'm glad you're home. And for me, that when I got older and everything, I just see a certain decline. And it's sad because the ones who paved the way, they in the death now they turn it because they parents had not respect what they did, but they make it work because hip hop had got out. The hip hop had done. They had got family out of poverty situations, and they lived to see have a nice house, have a nice business, provide for the family. And this generation come up, it's not picking on them. They figure they could do what they want, they could say what they want, but they refuse to understand the greater responsibility for the community. And like I said, we still got a long way to go, and I'm very disappointed. I am. I hope that answers your question. Uncle Shug.
Yo.
Oh, okay. You right there. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So, but that's an excellent question, though. That really is. So I usually read out every name of the chat. I'm not gonna do it tonight because it's not gonna do it this morning because it's late, and I want to respect that. So I thank everybody that was in the chat before. I want to thank you. I want to thank you on Poetic Cows, to show up, to do the remarkable job as only mod. And what I'm going to do, and the ones who actually stayed, thank y'all so much to stay, do this, everything. I appreciate that. And I want y'all to come back. Sugar, everybody, Sugar, everybody, I want y'all to support everybody. Support my channel. All right? Support everybody in the chat, even over here. Now, Uncle Shug, I want you to talk about your channels and support his channel and last remarks.
Yeah, this is Kurt Sugar, Curtis Anderson, better known as Kurt Sugar. We talk boxing. We talk mostly boxing. Every now and then we'll talk something different. But you can catch me on World Breaker Boxing. Every day. Sometimes we do two live streams a day. Kurt Sugar, World Breaker Boxing. Subscribe.
Okay. All right. Loso.
Man, y'all can check me out on The Truth is Near Peace, which is this channel right here that I'm on right now. And I do videos about everything. I do videos about life, government, politics, history, ancestors, corruption, Tupac, corruption of police brutality, and also my other channel, which is my first channel that I started. You know what I'm saying? That's why I mostly got all my videos. And this right here is my most important channel. But this channel right here has been my main ever since I just got out of suspension out of my main channel. I'm going back to that. But I'm also doing my main thing on The Truth is Near Peace. You see, it's two of them. Truth is Near Peace, and then you got The Truth is Near and Miami Peace Rider. I can go ahead and go check both of them channels out, man, and see that your boy go to work. Your boy doesn't play. And the same love that you showed me, I'm going to go to your channel, and I'm going to show you the same love. And thank you, JT. God bless you, my brother. It's always an honor to be at your presence, even if it's from far away or spiritually. We connected together. I want to say, Kels, thank you very much, sister, for always holding it down and keeping it 100 and for being a queen. And I also want to tell the brothers that were on the panel, God bless y'all. God bless y'all family. And y'all keep hope and faith alive and keep that hip hop going. JT, take it from there.
All right, my man, stay right there. Uncle Shug, your channel and last remarks, please, family.
And I keep getting flagged, man. So I don't want to give nobody no channel.
Again? Again?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah, man. It's all good. I do a lot of funny videos though, man. I just be having fun, y'all. You know what I'm saying, man. I'm always open for open topics though. So yeah, man. Thanks for having me on, JT. You know what I'm saying, bro. I be missing so many of your lives and your panels, man. I can't, make it over here, man. I'm glad I was able to make this one. But as soon as I was about to get on, I'm a new dad, y'all. So I got a new baby. The baby pulled up, so I had to talk to her and the mom. Well, the mom, not the new
congratulations, man.
Congratulations.
Congratulations from the darkness family.
Man. Congratulations for real.
That's right. Yeah, so that's what held me up from getting on, my brother. So, man, it's always a pleasure over here, man. I don't miss your live streams. I hit every last one of them, man. I'll be listening in. I might not comment on them, but I'll be doing my thing in the crib. I'm always here. I'm happy I was able to get on this one, man. We need to do a part 2 on this, though, man. What's happening, y'all? We got to talk about this again.
Yeah, I'm seriously my part 2 too. Yes.
Kurt, can you put can you comment in the chat so I can sub to your channel, man, so I can catch some of them boxing streams?
Oh, okay, I'll do that.
Show, man, and thanks again. Peace to everybody on the panel and peace to the chat.
All right, thank you. The one and only, the lovely Poetic Cal.
I appreciate that. Well, my channel is Poetic Kells. Usually I'll drop a poem or two over there, but usually it's kind of like a chill channel. You come over there, come vibe with me, and come vibe with the people in the chat. And, that's pretty much it. Listen to some music. That's it. That's how my channel is. And I do want to say much love to you, JT. I really appreciate you for having me up here. And I really enjoyed the topic. Much love to Uncle Shug. Congratulations. Much love to Curtis. I was looking for your link. I want to. Can you actually say something in there so I can sub to you? Well, sorry, so I can follow your channel too, because I can't find you. Much love to King Loso. God bless you guys. God bless everybody in the chat, and have a peaceful and blessed night.
Okay. For me, I want to thank each and every one of y'all so much to make this happen. And Shug twisted my arm out. Okay, let me go. Part 2. And I want to thank Shug. Congratulations for the little one. Again, send our regards, from the darkness family. And just understand that it's going to be most likely be a part 2. I don't know when. So that means I have to rewrite the top. I have to rewrite the topic, but I ain't gonna do it tonight because I'm tired.
Not to interrupt you, my brother. Sorry about that, or I can do it, man. You know what I'm saying?
No. I could do it. No.
Y'all can join me.
No, ain't no problem. I could do it. Yeah, I could do it. Ain't no problem. But this time I want you to come. So you gotta let me know when's a good time, and I could, no problem, bro.
For sure, family.
I want you to enjoy the baby. All right, yeah. We could do that. That can happen. We could definitely talk. Just let me know, and then y'all can set it up, and I'll let you know ahead of time so you could definitely be on the panel because this definitely be a part 2 because I ain't really get in there. I really want to, but the real Aaron Collins, what's going on? You late again, man. You be coming late, brother. You got to come 2 or 3 hours before that, bro. Let me stop. But I want to thank you so much. And oh yeah, I forgot to bring this out, brothers. It's gonna be it's gonna be man talk on this channel. It's gonna be nothing but brothers. We're gonna talk about issues that are important to us, and we gonna talk. We gonna have fun. So watch out for that. It's gonna be brothers, mature brothers. We gonna have fun. We gonna talk about our issues because if we gonna straighten ourselves and we gonna have fun, let's have fun, brothers. You know. Let's have fun. So, on behalf of Uncle Suge, my brother Curtis, brother Sugar, Loso, my G, I appreciate you. You keep it up. And the fabulous, marvelous Queen Poetic Cows. Oh, I forgot to say this again. Let me put this in the chat again, because Mike Biggs Boxing I got another name, y'all. Maybe put this chat. I'm gonna let me put this in before I want y'all some Pearl Kells, could you all right, you do it there. Okay. Mike Biggs Boxing. That's my nephew on YouTube. He gave me the name. Hold on, damn. Okay. There it is. I want you to see in the chat. Mike Biggs Boxing, he gave me the name Uncle Underrated. Underrated. I got a lot of damn names. I got a lot of goddamn names. So he named me yesterday. He said, nah, from now on, I'm also Uncle Underrated. So I got another name, y'all. Come from Mike Biggs Boxing. Uncle Underrated. If y'all want to hear more, go to Mike Biggs Boxing. Towards the end, you hear that. Uncle Underrated. So here it go. So I want to thank y'all so much in the chat. Sugar, I want you to come back. Please come back. Please. Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, I got Chef JT. I got the underrated one. I got the underrated one, the grinder. All across the underrated darkness. I got a lot. Okay. But so on behalf of everybody, I want to thank you so much. And on that note, good ghost.